Hi guys, Piotr here. This is LiteFinance Global YouTube channel. My pleasure to be with you again. This is the second part of the earnings season and we are going to discuss Amazon and Apple today. The Atlantic Ocean is very calm, but not the market. With that being said, without the further delay, let's jump straight into the charts. Okay, during the first part we were discussing Microsoft, we were discussing the Google alphabet. Today we are going to discuss Amazon and Apple. During the first part, both companies miss the earnings expectations. Today we have a case where both beat the expectations, but really, well, that's the thing. Let's start with Amazon weekly chart. So what we might expect within the medium term. Well, the thing is that the chart from the technical perspective doesn't look good. Why? Well, that's the point number one. That particular consolidation, right, been broken to the downside. Yes, this particular consolidation been broken to the downside. So let's place few lines over here, right? Line number one, it's a weekly chart, so let's switch to the blue color. There you go. Line number two. All right, so that's the zone. The market is trying, or was trying, over the course of the last week towards the end of the month to recover, right? But I think, well, at least one more dip is what I do expect here. Well, the thing is that it's not only earnings season. We've seen the Fed hiking. We've seen the official technical recession confirmation with the last US GDP print, right? So I think at some point we might see a little bit lower levels. How low can we go? Well, if you do remember our previous educational videos, that's what I'm looking for. So in that case, these stops eventually are gonna be taken out and we might retest this zone over here. So what kind of the levels we are discussing here? Let's make the cleaner chart. Let's place another line. So, well, I do expect we are going to see some kind of the failures. I'm looking to sell on rallies and I'm looking for the possibility to retest the levels close to in between 1970, 1800, all right? So that's the thing here to the downside. That's the final target if you are a bear. But, well, maybe you missed some selling opportunities. So how high can we go with the current bounce, all right? In that case, I would go either with this bounce, right, or with that rally. So let's have a look what we have when it comes to both. All right, so that's the number one possible rally, all right, and that's the number two. Okay, there you go. So in both cases, well, I do prefer the higher jump, all right? Why? Because it's going to bring us towards these lower shadows over here, all right? So that's why I do prefer the higher levels to go, and it might be around 2,790, 2,800. Also, if we are going to take into the consideration the full consolidation over here, and if we are going to take into the consideration half of that with the gap, and the gap has not been closed, then we are talking about the 3,000 and the levels a little bit above the 3,000. So, trying to summarize the bear scenario, looking to sell either 2,800 or scaling in above 3,000 with the possible target between 1,970 1,800. That's the bear's case. When it comes to the bull side, right? Well, I would like to see at least the retest of the latest low, right? So things like this with a little bit of the stop hunt. So again, these lines below 1,870, right? Down towards 1,800, this zone, it looks like very, very bullish. And as long as we are above, we might see a retest of levels close to 2,800, 3,000, and even higher towards 3,300. So in that case, the latest trend which been rejected lately with this strong sell-off. Again, we've seen negative GDP print. We got the confirmation of the technical recession, right? Of course, the central bankers, the politics, they are going to decide if we are overall going to go into the recession or not. But that's how I see the things related to Amazon. Well, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the Apple, right? It's a little bit different story with all the splits and things like this. But taking into the consideration what we already seen when it comes to the Apple, taking into the consideration that there is a still strong demand for the iPhone on one side, but we have to take into the consideration that, for example, when it comes to the Asia, especially China, they already doing something unusual. They selling with the discount. Well, that doesn't sound great. Anyway, if you are a bear and if you are watching the chart, I'm going to put a few lines over here to try to discuss the possible supply levels. So in that case, if we are talking about the Apple, well, we might see attempt to go a little bit higher as we wanna clean the stops. So the market may want to look for liquidity, right? And that's the thing. We might see the stop count above 180 up towards 220. 220 to 30, that's the first possible supply level. But if we are going to see this type of the price action, then your first target is going to be the broken level, 180, right? Then we might try to see higher levels. We might try to go as high as 270 with 312 as a possible option, right? But still, all these levels, if you are a bear, short term, you might try to take into the consideration. But what if you are a bull? What kind of the price action you are looking for? Well, as I mentioned, I still do expect, at least if we are not going to see anything ugly, right? Let's say the central planners are going to well, reduce the odds when it comes to the recession. But anyway, at least one more dip is what I'm looking for. So how, when it comes to the Apple, this dip may look like? All right, so I would see some kind of the attempt to move down towards 115, 100 with the possible stop count below 100 with the lower shadow being printed. So medium term perspective, if you are going to see strong sell-off with some kind of the signs of the give up, but building the lower shadow towards the end of the week, that might be, from the bull's perspective, your buying opportunity with the first target around 180 and the second target around 280, 312. That's how I see the things related to the bull's case. With that being said, guys, it was my pleasure to be with you again. That was the second part of the earnings season in US. That was the trading alert for the Amazon and Apple. With that being said, all the best, stay safe, do your own homework, do your own research as usual. See you around, take care, goodbye.